Hey everybody, welcome to What It's Like to Drive. We're here at Landrix Customs to test drive a very unique vehicle. They're growing in popularity and I'm actually astounded until of course I drove today. So we're going to go over the details of what the upkeep is like, what the cost to drive, all the cool details so you yourself can consider down the road what it's like to drive Air Ride and Rust. 1, 2, 3. So sitting behind me right now is a 66 C10, and one of the cool things about this is how low it is. Now you're probably thinking, how do I get over potholes with something that low? Well, it's easy. This vehicle has Air Ride, and the other cool thing about it is, if you'll notice, it really is covered in rust. So the question is that how is the upkeep, how is everything that goes into a vehicle like this gonna help you out? For now, we're going to look over this car, we're going to see how it drives, and we're going to have some really cool fun with it, which I think is going to be awesome. So I want you guys to stick around for the ride. So what was this vehicle like to drive? Absolutely amazing. I am astounded at how cool this car was to drive. The Air Ride system makes it so easy, so fluid. I mean, the appearance of this may look one way, but sitting inside on that bench seat, it's very soft, it's pliable. The little small steering wheel was a blast to turn. It felt like a different kind of driving experience, but it didn't feel unfamiliar. It didn't feel obtuse or violent, the things that I expected to see from a vehicle like this. Now, obviously, there were some body noises. I mean, it's going to make body noises, but that's the thing is all of us who drive vehicles, I mean, we're probably used to a lot of driving noises, if you will, but I didn't hear but a couple. That was the thing that really got me, was the lack of body noise. Of course, from here or there was a couple little bangings and other things, but for the most part, I didn't hear tire noise. I didn't hear any of the body creaking all over the place. It was just a couple of little moves here. Actually, about what I would expect from any vehicle that was, a little bit older in age, and obviously this has some age to it. So I was astounded at this. I really like this vehicle, and I really like how it handled. So it's one of those vehicles that I'm definitely going to give some high marks to. So the first thing you're going to be asking yourself is, how much does something like this cost? The first thing you're going to have to get is a rusted out vehicle, obviously, and that's going to be based on the vehicle that you select. Some vehicles are some high, some vehicles are low. It really is dependent on what you want to do. The second thing is putting the Air Ride in. Buying an Air Ride suspension itself is around $3,000, so you have that to cover. The last thing obviously is the installation, and that can kind of be the complicated part. They can do that here at Landrix Customs, and he spent about $7,000 doing this vehicle to make it up to speed so that it could look the way it is now. Now, if you think about that, that's not that much. I mean, putting a little bit into this and turning it into a unique vehicle like this is just something fun and rewarding, and it's something that, I mean, anybody could do, in my opinion. I mean, how hard is it to find a truck like this? And finding the parts, obviously, it's a regular truck. So that's really the easy part. So the next question you might be asking yourself is, what about maintenance? Well, that's the thing is it has a regular engine in it, nothing special. The real thing that you have to deal with is the Air Ride, and obviously maintenance of paint isn't a problem. So the real trick here is just doing your regular oil changes, doing your regular maintenance, and then keeping that Air Ride suspension in play when you're doing that. The thing I need to add to that is that Air Ride is not something that comes in regular vehicles, so a place like Landrix would know how to do the upkeep on it. So it's one of those things, if you bring the vehicle here to do its oil changes and do its upkeep, and that's something that they'll be able to take care of and keep in as part of their process to do the maintenance on these vehicles. So for our final part, what kind of grade am I going to give this vehicle? Well, I'm actually going to give it an A+. For driving, it was actually on a scale of 1 to 10, it was a 10. The feeling inside was amazing. Something that I think a lot of people today stuck in our new cars really don't feel, and they should have an opportunity to experience something like this. It was a blast and something I would love to do all over again. When it comes to upkeep, again, very high scores for this vehicle because the upkeep is really just adding an air ride to it. In fact, the idea of not having to do anything with the paint now actually adds to the ease of it. Now, there are some people who do clear coat these cars to make sure that they can keep that rust there, but that's an option. You don't need to do that. And the other thing is that down the road, if you want to paint it, you have a truck that will fit your needs and do what it needs to do. So that's the thing is everything about this truck I really liked. I loved the cost was not that great, the upkeep wasn't that bad, and obviously the ride quality was extremely good. And that was the thing is that really put this car above everything. Like I said, this is something, if you're considering looking into a vehicle like this, look these guys up. It is totally worth it, and it's an experience I want to have again in the future. So the last question is would this be something I would recommend? And the answer to that is absolutely. The idea that just finding a rusty vehicle and just putting in air ride and probably putting in a new engine or doing a little upkeep to it, I mean, it's a no-brainer. Whether you're an experienced person or whether you're just getting into it, it's easy to get something like this, put it together, and have it as like your little side project. Now, would it be good for a daily driver? Obviously, with the droning, that might be something you want to change around the exhaust system to make it that way. But that's the thing is this car's driving capabilities, it's a breeze. It feels great. It drives great. It's something that anybody could get into and drive to shows or drive to work. I mean, it's just amazing. This is one of those vehicles that really shocked me, and I'm really happy that it shocked me because it's something that, I mean, I myself would like to consider getting into in the future. So that's it for our coverage today at Landrix Custom on a vehicle that really I am very happy that it shocked me on its drive. I was amazed at how this thing drove. It's something that I would consider myself, and that was the amazing part for it is that when I see something that I see on the road that looks like it's unattainable and then I drive it and realize how attainable it is, it's just awesome. And I hope that you guys will probably consider something like this because it's getting big. The more I go to shows, the more I see vehicles like this. And now, after having the experience I have today, it's no shock. So I want to thank you guys for tuning in to what it's like to drive. It was an amazing experience. I hope you guys had fun too. I want to thank Landrix Customs for letting us come out and take a look at this awesome vehicle, for letting us drive it, and for letting us show you guys how awesome these things are. I hope you guys will tune into the next one. Don't forget to like and subscribe because I don't want you to miss these new episodes as they come out because we're going to show you what it's like to drive.